Welcome back to Prison Professors. On behalf of my two partners, Justin Paperny and Sean Hopwood, I want to thank you for watching. I'm hoping that you can get some value out of this extraordinary interview that we're getting from Mario Hernandez. My name is Michael Santos, and although I'm kind of in the back scenes of this organization, it's always very fulfilling for me when I see and listen to a story like Mario is sharing with us about how this incredible work, this extensive amount of work that he did really moved the needle in getting him the best possible outcome from the criminal justice system, but also helped him recalibrate his life, restore his confidence, and get him back on track. And that's what we're going to be talking about today. In episode 1, we learned how he found our organization. In episode 2, we learned a little bit more about his background and his story, and about how he got a man who is really not a criminal, found himself in the crutches of the criminal justice system, facing an extensive amount of time. But then we've been hearing about what steps he has taken to get his life back on track. And that's what we're going to focus on during this 20 to 25-minute episode number 3, where we'll conclude this story with Mario Hernandez. So Mario, I'd love it if you tell us a little bit about what you expect all of this work has done. How is it going to carry you going forward beyond the sentence?
Okay, Straight A's program, it has helped me refine my objectives, restructure where I was going. I wanted to make a change in my life. I got approached by the wrong people and I took the bait. Now, thanks to this, I did my research like I should have done in the beginning and got back on track, Michael. Thanks to the program, the introspective work we do to...
Tell us about the program. Yes, it's called the Straight A Guide. It's our Straight A Guide program. It is a compass-like program that helps us lead a values-based, goal-oriented life. And it's certainly one that guided me through 26 years in federal prison and also put me on a path to success since I've come home. I want to hear it from your perspective. You're the one who went through the modules, went through the step-by-step guide, and it is what helped you. Walk us through the Straight A Guide as you understand it.
I mean, first you reevaluate yourself, really, and it helps you understand that it's you and only you the what that pretty much builds your life. Yes, when you're on the right track, you are going to find yourself thanking people because you start to get approached by the right people. You've been great. Justin Paperny has been great. Even Kathy, whom I talked with on the phone and email, was amazing. All of a sudden, you start feeling that you're on the right track. That helped me. The introspective work helped me identify my mistakes and accept them out loud, and that helped me with the judge. But the other thing that came with that work was defining my life next year, 5 years, 10 years, where I was going to be, what I was going to be doing, what am I going to be doing. And that too helped me with the judge. But not just that, it helped me. It already has started to pay dividends, Michael. I already, part of my objectives are, one of them is speaking this, telling people what going through a life change means, what it is, how to approach it, and how can you what's the best way to approach it to get the best outcome out of it. And I already talking to people from TEDx here in San Diego, working on that story. Obviously, the work we've done, you and I, with the narrative, the work that I've done with Justin Paperny has helped me synthesize and really deliver the message. I'm working with people over here in San Diego to find the people that are going through this, the right people, branding and marketing, so that I can really find the right people and they can identify with the branding. They can identify with me. So I'm already working towards that. As an actor, I was one of my objectives was within 5 years being Hollywood standing and right standing, and within and Broadway, and within 10 years have my movie produced. I'm working right now on my screenplay. It's moving along great. The other thing is I recently did a pilot for a sitcom that's going to be presented to Netflix. It's not a fact yet, but I'm already doing that. I'm already working towards those objectives. And honestly, I would have not been this focused if it wasn't for the straight A guide.
Straight A guide. So let's help our audience understand a little bit of what that means, because at the end of the day, it's really your work that made it happen. When we talk about what the straight A guide is, it starts with the very first lesson, and that is defining success in your life. We call that a module on values. What are the values that define who you are and what you want to become? In your case, Mario, do you remember I don't want you to write you don't have to elaborate on the many pages that you wrote about it, but what were the values that you said are going to define who you are going forward?
It's being true to yourself. In reality, at the end, in synthesis, is being true to yourself. By being true to yourself, you are true to everybody else. Accepting who you are and where you're going to. What are your objectives? Nothing that if anything that you're doing hurts anybody, it's not okay. That's it. It's working for something that society will benefit from, working for something that you will benefit from. That's pretty much, in synthesis, what I got from that.
From that module. Mm-hmm. And then the next module is, once you have done that, and I know that you took a lot of time to write those responses out to the many questions that are in the modules. But as you said, they helped you get on track. They helped you say, okay, I made decisions from a position of weakness, and it got me into this struggle. Now I'm going to deal with the world as it exists, not as I want it to be. And this is what the trouble that I'm in right now. Now I'm going to chart a course that's going to get me from where I am to where I want to go. And that led to the second module, which was on the very clearly defined goals that you were going to work toward. And I think the first goals, of course, had to do, let me get the best possible outcome from the criminal justice system.
Yeah.
But you knew this was going to pass, and you were going to have the rest of your life ahead of you. And I heard you just say some of the goals that you're working toward, which is writing your screenplay, having your movie in production. Did you have any other incremental goals that would take you from where you are right now to where it is you want to go that you could elaborate on?
Yes, practically, I'm working on them as we speak. Really, it was making a certain amount of money within. Just starting making a certain amount of money on a monthly basis to increase up to a point where I would be practically living a more relaxed way of life, doing what I love doing what I am supposed to be doing in life. That was one of the things. In reality, I'm on it, Michael. My objectives were those, and I'm working on them. The screenwriting, the acting, the delivering the message, and I am doing those already. But being close to my family, and I'm doing it. So,
and the straight A guide can help you stay on track by letting you or encouraging you to really get a little bit more granular, I would say, and saying, okay, I need to write, 2 hours, excuse me, I need to write 2 hours every day, perhaps, or 4 hours every day. I need to make sure that I am talking to my family every day about what I am doing and keep them in the loop. I need to make sure that if it's amount of money that I'm going to earn every month, I'm doing these types of steps that can result in that. And just by staying on track with those clear goals, and to the extent that we can clarify them more, the stronger we feel, because now we are architecting the success that we're after. And I know that's what you...
The more specific you get, definitely.
And then holding yourself, saying, am I really on it? So those goals can't be just, broad and say, I'm going to be successful. Rather, ask them, well, what does it mean to be successful? How what can I do today with the resources that I have and the struggles that I have to begin moving the needle and getting closer to what I want to become? That's really what's important.
Yes.
The next module in the straight A guide, those two are like prerequisites, right? They're the first things that we have to do in order to really move through the disciplined, deliberate approach to success. And next module is your attitude, and it's focused on having the right attitude.
Yes.
How would you define having the right attitude, Mario? How did you do that as you were working through that program?
Yeah. I found myself being the strong one through all this. And thanks to the modules, the fact that, I mean, yes, you have the year, 5 years, 10 years, but you have it on a daily basis too. What time do I get up? How many hours do I put into, doing your work, doing the writing? If I go to classes, getting the A's. I mean, I've been to, I think it's last semester was 5 classes, straight A's, and that keeps me going. And the people around me that might be feeling really bad about it, like my son, 14-year-old, right? He's like, damn, my dad is going away and he's old. I all of a sudden tell him, hey, you know what? I'm going through this, son. I'm sorry. I'm sorry I put you through this, but check this out. I have these objectives and I am delivering, I'm on track. I'm getting straight A's. I'm paying your school. I'm doing this. When he sees that, he's like, oh, okay, it's not the end of the world. It's not the end of my life. And there is the possibility of making something right out of this. And yes, it's on a daily basis.
It's 100% commitment to success.
Yes.
That's what we're hearing. You said, I got into this situation by myself. I'm going to get out of it by myself because of the decisions that I am making every single day. And it's that 100% commitment to those values and goals that you defined in the earlier modules that allows you to speak with a level of strength to your son and say, yes, this is a bad time of our life, but it's going to result in me coming back stronger. Right? You want to, as they say, an old cliche, in order to make an omelet, you've got to break a few eggs. And you've gone through some struggle, but it is your response to the struggle that is giving you a higher sense of purpose and a belief that you can overcome. And there's a lesson in that for your son to make better decisions along the way. So it's always about turning these weaknesses into strengths, which leads into the next module, which is aspiration. And it's seeing yourself as the best possible outcome here. You saw the best possible outcome starting, Mario, as lowest possible sentence, but also how is your life going to change in 2 years, 5 years, 10 years? Isn't that right?
That's right. Yes, and I think that projected on court with the judge, big time. It's not that I just wrote it and thought to myself, well, I hope the judge just catches onto this. No, it was real. It's real. The work we did through the modules, it pretty much gets rid of all the fat. That's what it does. It gets rid of all the fat. And if you do it right on a daily basis, you will make your decisions getting rid of that fat. You will just, it'll be the petit filet mignon, the best part of the meat. That's what you practice every day after going through this. That's pretty much the mindset you are in, getting just what is supposed to be done, being focused.
And you said that the judge could see it. You know why the judge could see it? Is because the judge has lived that way for his entire life. He has been an individual who had a vision of what he wanted to do with his career. That vision began as a young boy, I am sure, when he did well in school and avoided bad decisions. Continued on by going to college and then law school, then continued on by perhaps working as a prosecutor or in a law firm or academia, and then went in to become a judge. It was all those incremental action steps that got him there, and he understands when you're giving your story, he's seeing himself in you. And I think that is the humanizing aspect of the entire process. And I know you wanted to say something about action, which is the next component in our straight A guide, taking action. Well, I'd like you to elaborate on what you were going to say.
So I'm gonna doing the work. You do mention in one of the modules, your judge, and it's the same module. Your judge did what you just said, right? He did this, probably did that, had focused. It took him 18 years from the moment he graduated as a lawyer to get into the bench, and 18 years to get in as a magistrate to be where he is right now as a federal judge. Like I was saying earlier, it takes you a certain amount of time, but the guy obviously had an objective. It was clear, just like you said it. I did my work. I did my research, just like you said it. If you haven't read about your judge who's going to be judging you, I mean, then what are you talking about? It's like, who are you going to be selling this to? Who are you going to be delivering this song to? The same. Who is the judge? How did he get there? I even read when he sat in front of Jeff Sessions in the Senate, how they interviewed him, the answers, what they asked him, all of those things I read about him. I studied him. He serves. After so many years, he started surfing again. So he went through a midlife change. Around 50-something, he started surfing again. His lifelong thing when he was a kid. So that sets you in a way to the wavelength this person is, where he is thought-wise in every way. That was the work I did thanks to the module.
Well, we're very proud that you were able to get the awesome outcome that you were able to do. But it was really at the heart of it, it was your work, and the next step in taking those action steps of doing the research, asking the types of questions of what can I do with the resources that I have to get the outcome that I want, leads into the next module, which is about accountability. And it's about saying, am I truly doing everything within my power to get the outcome that I want? And am I doing it every single day? And if I fall off track, can I get back on track? To the extent that you start doing this in a more methodical, deliberate approach, you make it easier for other successful people to see themselves in you. And when they see that you're on this deliberate path, they're more inclined to look at you differently. Not only in the judicial system, this will continue when you're in the prison system, it will continue when you're on supervised release, and it will continue as you build the career that awaits you on the other side of this journey. You are sowing the seeds right now for what you want to become. Isn't that the way that you're holding yourself accountable, Mario?
Yes, definitely. With Justin, with you, I feel that I have what's the word? I mean, I have to deliver. And I followed the recommendation too that you give us through the modules in the program. You know, find your 10 people, 10 mentors, and I found people here in San Diego that are successful businessmen in different venues of life that are they are successful, and they've received me very well. They receive me often. We talk, and they give advice. They listen, and I've never had these relationships before, Michael. That makes me feel strong, and too, I know that I have to keep things on the right track, because if these people, after what I did, received me and took me under their wing in a way, you know, spend an hour or so a week with me talking, when I know how much they make an hour. They are not charging me. They are with me because they believe in me. They believe what I'm telling them. They believe what are my objectives, and they see something.
That didn't happen by accident. That happened because you truly did take the action steps. You did hold yourself accountable. And that's, of course, what leads into the next module in the program, which is awareness. You became aware of things that you could do, and simultaneously, these other leaders in society, these mentors that are coming into your life, these role models, they are aware of your commitment because you're showing them. And the harder you work on yourself, the more vested they become in watching you succeed. And that is going to continue. That pattern will continue. But what you have to always remember to do is, as we teach in the next module, celebrate every achievement. And we could start celebrating right now with this awesome outcome you got of a sentence that is significantly lower than anybody would have expected. It's all because of you. And I hope that you're celebrating that achievement right now.
Definitely. I mean, who would celebrate getting 24 months, right? But right afterwards, my daughter is in Italy right now studying. but my son is here and my fiance is here, and we went to eat. We went to eat together and celebrate. I mean, you would say, who would celebrate for 24 months? Well, worst case scenario is 24 months. Probably it'll end up being half of that. And if you think that it would have been 10 years to life, I think that's pretty good, you know. And it was not just luck, I mean, or a blessing. It was the work. You work even for a blessing. You work towards getting that blessing. You know, you get all the clutter out of the way to make things happen.
Well, you were authentic. You were the real deal. You are worthy of all the blessings that are coming your way. And I know that many more will come your way. The next module in our program, which is the final module, is really expressing appreciation for the blessings that have come your way, showing that gratitude. And I know that's something that's very important for you, Mario, is to give back and to show society that I've got a responsibility and a duty to make things better and to help other people. I think that's what you started this entire 3 interviews off with, was by saying, I want to help other people who are in struggle. And why don't you walk us through a little bit about how that motivates and inspires you to get up in the morning and continue staying on this straight-a-guide path to success?
If I'm going to stand in front of 1,000 people or 100 people, 10 people, whatever amount of people are in front of me to try to help them, and I'm not living up to it, then how will they believe me? I mean, if somebody goes to their computer and does the research that I did about my judge, for example, and they find out that I'm not that person, then what? Starting from my kid, starting from my son, you know, my fiance, my daughter, they see me on a daily basis. That's what's important. Start with me. How can I see myself on the mirror and say, hey, you know what? You're the same person you were before this happened. You're gonna do that again, Mario. You're gonna fall into that trap again if you don't change your ways on a daily basis. Hey, you know what? It's okay to fall every now and then. I didn't do this today. I didn't do that today. But be assured to hold yourself accountable. That's what I think. To begin with, doing this interview, Michael, the society that I come from, what they would usually do, or what we would usually do, is I broke, you know, the egg. I'm going to make believe that nothing happened. I'm going to throw this away and keep on living. But the problem is that if I do that, if we keep on doing that, I have a kid. They have kids. They will get this age. They will get to that point there where they will probably make the same mistake, you know? And if this is the first step. I'm putting it out there on YouTube. Everybody, you know what? I made the wrong decisions. I'm paying for them. But if you want to listen about it, be aware, not just for yourself, but for your people, for the people that surround you. You might see what's going on and you might be able to help them, or you might see what's going on with you and ask for help, the right help. Right now, what I'm doing is the first step. You know, I'm putting it out there. In reality, that's what I'm trying to do. I make this mistake and I am going to live up to it, and I am going to work so that I can help anybody that's about to make this mistake not do it. You know, doing this is the first step to that.
Well, it is a great source of honor and pride for our team, Justin, Kathleen, Kaplan, Sean Hopwood, myself, in seeing that you got the outcome that you deserve, which is also putting you on a pathway to seeing how you can not only achieve your goals and objectives, move beyond this struggle, but also how you can sow these seeds to help other people reach their highest potential. That's what the Straight A Guide is all about. It's an individual effort. It doesn't happen without somebody doing the work. And you certainly are the epitome of what it means to do the work. And because of it, you've gotten the outcome that you wanted. You've restored your confidence. You're no longer spinning out of control about wondering what's going to happen to me, but rather you're taking these deliberate, methodical steps that are taking you from exactly where you are to what's going to become. You can measure it every day. And we're just so grateful to have had the opportunity to have played a small role in helping you get there. And we wish you nothing but success as you move forward.
Thank you, Michael. No, I really appreciate you answering immediately my email. I mean, you have to understand, you know, probably most people will turn their back at moments like this, and they will not want to do anything with you. You answered immediately. Justin is there big time. I want to say congratulations, Justin, for becoming a father for a second time. And even with his wife in labor, he would be answering, and he would be, asking. He was in touch with me, and that helps a lot. That does help. I want to thank you guys, Kathy, and you guys really helped me go through this big time.
Great.
Big time. I don't know, man. I don't know.
I hope that you're connecting right now with other people that come through our system and learn about Prison Professors. We will certainly be using your story as an example of what can happen if the individual is willing to do the work. This is the outcome that somebody can move closer toward if they are willing to do the work. Nobody can do it for them. Your lawyer wasn't able to do it. Certainly I wasn't able to do it for you. Justin wasn't able to do it. You did it. All we are is helping to facilitate to get you there and get the best outcome, just as each of us who has gone through the system has experienced. So really come to the end of this episode, this 3-part episode. In episode 1, we listened a little bit about his challenges with the criminal justice system and how he responded. Episode 2, we learn about how easily when we make decisions from a position of weakness, we can fall into struggles in our life, whether it's with the criminal justice system or something else. And in episode number 3, we heard about the straight A guide and the very deliberate path that Mario took to work his way from struggle to prosperity, and how he's going to continue documenting that journey. And we hope that you will write to us as you move through that 24 months in prison so that we can continue following along with the inspiring story of Mario Hernandez.
Thank you, Michael. Have a great one.
Thank you very much. We look forward to profiling more individuals who have been successful in turning their lives around. On behalf of my 2 partners, Sean Hopwood and Justin Paperny, my name is Michael Santos, and I want to thank you for participating in the Prison Professors program. Thank you.